007 First Light. I'm just gonna come out and say it. I didn't really vibe with it. I think the game is okay. That's for sure. And I think depending on how much you like James Bond, this might go, higher or more down on the scale of how good this game is. But that really depends on you. I, for one, do enjoy the Hitman games myself. As buggy as they can be sometimes and ridiculous as they are, I do enjoy them. I do. But for some reason, I couldn't vibe with this one, at least for me. The first thing I'm going to talk about as to why, it's the story. It was too simple or safe, and it just felt very boring to me. I was not really interested with, or engaged with with the story. It's more of the characters. The characters didn't really drive me. There was only one character, and it's pretty much the only character that pretty much matters for the most part. Besides that, the layout or the structure of the game, I don't like. I don't like the pacing in terms of gameplay, because you go from a cutscene, which is fine, to an interactive cutscene, kinda like you're in the game and you're walking around and you're just talking to people, and that's it. And after that, you might get another cutscene and you finally get on a mission. And when you're actually in the mission, it's not even the mission yet. It feels like it's the briefing as you are trying to gather information in a very Hitman way. And I do like that part, but it's not mixed well. I feel like in Hitman games, they're mixed better, because you get the story and the action and the investigation all in the same section. And here it's divided. So once you finish the investigation, you actually go into the action part. But it's more like stealth. I do love stealth. I love Metal Gear. Metal Gear is one of my favorite stealth games, for one. Again, I really do like the Hitman games myself, but in here, I actually find it more fun to not care too much about stealth. You can do stealth, especially if you're fast at it. I feel like the best segments happen when you move fast while you're doing stealth, using all your gadgets and stuff, how much you can change, changing between gadgets and everything. This game can be pretty fun during that portion of the game, because you can also shoot, you can punch people. And let me tell you, punching people in this game feels like Arkham, kind of. Like, it's got that really nice bar, bar fight kind of system. Like, it's super good. Like, there's mechanics where there's a grab mechanic, or there's a grab button, and then if you hold that grab button, you can grab and punch somebody. You can throw people down, down bottom floors. You can throw people onto other people. You can throw stuff at people, and then use a finisher or whatever. It's super cool. And when it comes to the shooting, it's got the Max Payne stuff, so it like slow-mos and whatnot. So that's also really nice. And when it comes to the gadgets, you can use the gadgets even while you're punching people, shooting people. Like, it's super creative, and it's super fun to just make your own chaos that way. So it's super fun to engage the game that way, at least for me. And it's what pretty much helped me get through, because right after those sections is what I like to call the Uncharted sections, or the Hollywood isms sections, where you can literally do everything. I don't want to spoil everything or much of the game if you haven't played the game, and if you want to play it. And what essentially happens during those sections, it's balls to the walls, bro. It's legit balls to the walls. You can literally be jumping off a plane, shooting a bunch of guys. A bunch of guys are gonna be wanting to shoot at you, that's for sure. So it really just depends on how you want to handle it. But those sections are strictly chaos. They're always going to be chaos, and that's fine. That's fun. That's what I remember, at least from the James Bond movies. Sometimes James Bond movies were the old school versions of what we have now, because right now what we have is John Wick. So James Bond was like their version of a John Wick kind of thing, at least from what I remember. So I can't say that this game is bad or it's like terrible because it's not. It's definitely has its upsides. And I think that part of those games are pretty good. It's just the first three parts. The story was whatever, the intermissions or the interactive story was whatever, and then the intermissions or the beginning of a mission where you're just investigating, the investigation phase was whatever. And then the rest of the two, the two other things are super good. I wish that the intermission was also like a cutscene, like a mission briefing cutscene. I feel like that would have made this game float that much better. At least in my opinion, of course. I don't know what else there is to say. I really don't want to say too much because I don't want to be too down on the game. I don't want to sound like it's a super bad game because it isn't. It just wasn't for me. Maybe it didn't live up to my expectations if I really even had any, which I didn't know what to go with, knowing that the story of 007 is an origin kind of story. And because of that, that's why I give it a little bit more credit. Origin stories are always hard. They're always hard to do. They never really start well. Like the only origin stories that I think are good is if they're the first game of a series, and that's it. Because usually when it's the first game or an origin story, let's say there's been other games, which 007 has had other games before, then that's where things just fall off. Of course, if you have games that have come out and then you make one that is supposed to be an origin story, it just not gonna be that good in the first place. It's not. It's just really hard to do an origin story without making it feel like the character feels nerfed compared to how powerful the character is later. Which the later is what you experience now, while the origin is what you experience later. If that makes sense. It's the best way I can put it. So credit where credit is due. I think this team tried their best. Now that the origin story is done, because of the ending, I do not want to talk about the ending, but I'm pretty sure you guys can assume what the ending is. So now that the ending is done, I'm actually curious what the next one might be. And if I'm honest, I might actually enjoy the next one. That's for sure. Only because now he will actually be the person that everyone knows, 007. But without further ado, I have recently made a Patreon. So if you would like to support me and my channel, the best way to do so would be to go through my Patreon. With that said, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoy yourselves. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Please don't be too harsh on this video. This game. I don't hate the game. Maybe it was me and I was just not feeling it. Maybe some other time, maybe I would have. Without said, again, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you guys want to see more video game videos, of course. Please have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.